Helsinki now, and one thing that's really stood out for us here is the driving culture. So we're on a fairly big road, 2 lanes either side, but the speed limit here is only 50, and further back in the sort of city centre it's only 30 and 40 kilometres. And people drive to the speed limit, which is really unusual compared with everywhere else we've been. If we were back home and the speed limit was that, people would be driving 70 and suffering from quite a degree of road rage. So yeah, the driving here is fantastic.
And the personal space between the vehicles.
Yeah, no one drives up anyone's backside. So yeah, so far we are loving driving in Finland.
This seems to be a thing in Finland. It's a grill, a barbecue with a shelter, and they seem to pop up next to lakes or public forests and reserve, and people like to grill their food. There's some basic utensils in there. Great amenity. Another thing we've learned here in Finland is that people in the city, they often have country homes, cottages, near the lake, out in the woods and the forest, and we just camped up near this particular lake. There appears to be a few dozen cottages scattered around. People are out in their boats. It's now 20 past 8 in the evening, and I don't think it gets dark until about 11 in this part of the world.
Well, I've been out taking photos. Neil's been cooking up a storm.
Some would say it's woman's work.
Some would say it's woman's work, but you do it so well. What is for tea tonight?
We're having a salad. Salad. It's hard to say sometimes.
Is that because we need to start eating healthy food?
That's because you've gone on strike.
That's true.
So we're having onion, tomato, carrot, basically chopped up into little bits, and it'll probably end up in a wrap.
Yum, it sounds good, and I don't have to cook it, so that makes it even better. So one of the awesome things about wild camping is waking up and having breakfast in beautiful places like this.
You can't beat Finland on a good day. Now what's on the menu this morning?
Well, this morning we have muesli with pears and a cup of coffee, and what a beautiful setting to be having breakfast in.
Now, why are you under that sleeping bag?
Because we have gone from a balmy sort of 20-22 degrees down to 9 degrees, so it's a little bit chilly here in Finland.
And the weather?
A bit blustery, a bit wet. It's still really light though. I think we're up to 3 hours of darkness at the moment.
stuff.
I don't know what Right, so where are we off to on this glorious day?
Well, because the weather's a bit unpleasant, there's a strong wind, it's pretty cold by recent standards, probably about 7 or 8 degrees. Not a great day for sightseeing, but we're going to have a driving day. Probably 300 or 400 kilometres up through the heart of Finland towards the Arctic Circle. Here we go.
Midnight sun, here we come.
Now, we have a different situation here. What's going on?
I'm going to drive the van, which I haven't done before. In fact, I haven't driven for 6 months, so this is going to be interesting.
Now the one on the left is the clutch, and the one on the right is the accelerator. Do you know what the one in the middle is?
The brake.
Right.
Which one's the indicators? This one or that one? Everything's on the other side now. Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm the passenger.
Yeah.
I am the passenger, and I ride through the city backsides. I see the stars come out of the sky. Yeah, the bright and hollow sky. You know it looks so good tonight. I am the passenger. I stay under glass. I look through my...
We found another great parking place. We've been wild camping by a lake so far, but this time we are by the Baltic Sea, and it's really quiet, it's really peaceful, and I would tell you where we are, but I actually don't know. But we're heading up to the Arctic Circle, and we're pretty close to getting some midnight sun. In fact, we've only been getting, I think, 2 hours of darkness, if that, at the moment.